witnessed yesterday was not dissent, it was not disorder, it was not protest, it was chaos. They weren't protesters. Don't dare call them protesters. They were a riotous mob, insurrectionists, domestic terrorists.
President-elect Joe Biden addressing the nation, calling the violent group that descended on the U.S. Capitol domestic terrorists and placing blame on President Trump.
The Capitol left ransacked after that siege, and now we're learning of some new resignations from the Trump administration as talks of removing the president are continuing. And Local 10 does have team coverage on every angle about this Capitol siege.
Yesterday, the President of the United States incited an armed insurrection against America. The gleeful desecration of the U.S. Capitol, which is the temple of our American democracy, and the violence targeting Congress are horrors that will forever stain our nation's history, instigated by the President of the United States. That's why it's such a stain.
The aftermath of a deadly insurrection. Offices ransacked, statues defaced, furniture destroyed, the hollowed halls of the Capitol desecrated.
It was just, I'm getting, a little overwhelmed. It was just a very intense, uncertain situation.
Debbie Wasserman Schultz surviving nothing short of a siege. Hordes of frenzied Trump supporters breaching barricades and, once inside, battering the door to the House chamber.
They broke the glass.
Lawmakers inside left to take shelter, diving under desks, a chaplain praying over them. A line of officers holding back intruders, their guns drawn. Then a gunshot hitting a protester. At least 4 people losing their lives, but even in the wake of all this death and destruction,
the chair declares the joint session dissolved.
Congress coming back, and just before 4 o'clock this morning, finally certifying President-elect Joe Biden's electoral win.
Those who strove to deter us from our responsibility, you have failed. Justice will be done.
The United States and the United States Congress have faced down much greater threats than the unhinged crowd we saw today.
The blame squarely laid at the president's feet.
What happened here today was an insurrection incited by the President of the United States.
Trump's own former Attorney General Bill Barr calling it a betrayal of his office and supporters, adding orchestrating a mob to pressure Congress is inexcusable. Other Republicans now calling for Trump to be removed from office.
It's time to invoke the 25th Amendment and to end this nightmare.
Senator Chuck Schumer tweeting, the president must not hold office one day longer.
The final, terrible, indelible legacy of the 45th President of the United States, undoubtedly our worst.
Is it too little, too late?
Oh, please. 13 days when they were going to be looking for a new job anyway. Whatever. I mean, it took the violent overthrow, the attempted violent overthrow of the government for them to decide it was too much.
And already a string of resignations from the minor, with former Press Secretary Stephanie Grisham to Transportation Secretary Elaine Chao, to Mick Mulvaney, and to Matt Pottinger, Trump's Deputy National Security Advisor.
That doesn't mean the president is free from fault. The president bears responsibility for Wednesday's attack on Congress by mob rioters. He should have immediately denounced the mob when he saw what was unfolding. These facts require immediate action.
Trump and I, we've had a hell of a journey. I hate it being this way. Oh my God, I hate it. From my point of view, he's been a consequential president. But today, first thing you'll see. All I can say is count me out. Enough is enough. I've tried to be helpful. To the conservatives who believe in the Constitution, now's your chance to stand up and be counted. And when it's over, it is over. It is over. The final thing, Joe Biden. I've traveled the world with Joe. I hoped he lost. I prayed he would lose. He won. He's the legitimate president of the United States. I cannot convince people, certain groups, by my words, but I will tell you by my actions that maybe I, above all others in this body, need to say this. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are lawfully elected and will become the president and the vice president of the United States on January the 20th.
A Republican sitting congressman, says he will not cooperate with the January 6th committee's investigation of the insurrection. Representative Scott Perry of Pennsylvania today refused the committee's request to speak with them voluntarily and turn over evidence. We're now waiting to hear whether the committee will subpoena Congressman Perry. That would be a significant move, again, because he's a sitting member of Congress. They haven't done that. The committee says it's discovered Congressman Perry communicated with the former White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows through an encrypted messaging app. The committee also says Congressman Perry played an important role in trying to install Jeffrey Clark as acting attorney general. He's the Trump loyalist and former DOJ official who pushed bogus voter fraud claims.
According to a witness, Jackson was handcuffed and placed on the ground while he was trying to assist a teenager in medical distress.
When multiple officers asked you to get back in the EMS...
Nobody asked me to get back.
They did.
No, they didn't. I was talking to her about her blood sugar and her blood pressure. You were the first mother to say something to me. The first one. Nobody did.
The parents didn't want either of y'all there. We were trying
Nobody
to
said something to me. Nobody.
In a previous statement to CNN, Jackson's spokesperson said that the congressman was briefly detained during the incident and was immediately released when officers realized he was tending to a medical emergency. But a new report from the sheriff of Carson County, Texas, describes Jackson's behavior that night as aggressive and threatening, and says the congressman repeatedly ignored warnings to get back.
You and I got to agree. I was just trying to help, dude. Okay. It has nothing to do with who I am or what I do. I was in the ER doc, man.
Okay, let me speak. I know you were there to help, right? But I got EMS coming on scene. I got multiple parents asking.
Nobody was there yet, though.
Yes, they were.
No, they weren't. They were just rolling up as I was standing there.
Donald Trump lives in his own reality and he lies casually, but he's very, very good at it. He used to teach me, Stephanie, as long as you keep repeating something, it doesn't matter what you say. And I will bring us back to 2019 when Hurricane Dorian was coming. And Donald Trump wrote on a map that it was going to hit a part of the country that it wasn't going to really hit, even after being briefed by the National Weather Service. So this is something he's done over and over and over. And I really hope that people will understand that this is just what he does.
Donald Trump. In 2020, he was elected to represent the 13th Congressional District in Texas.
I went to 4 years of medical school and 4 years of residency.
I'm trying to tell you, when somebody tells you to get back, you get
Nobody
back.
told me to get back.
I did. I had to tell you twice. I had to raise my voice the second
you
time.
rolled in and you freaking just get the out.
No, I said get back. Nobody
You know
listened. I told
I'm
you
going to
get back
call
a
the
second
governor
time.
tomorrow. I'm going to talk to him about this because this is ridiculous.
CNN has reached out to the governor's office for comment. In a